Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today we're going to talk about this awesome Honeycrisp apple tree. Got a bad apple there. Right now I am just looking for any apples like that have like a cut in it that wasps and or hornets are attacking, or a little mummy like that one. That's the first one I've seen like that. But for the most part, almost all of the apples are really good. Like that's just a blemish. That apple is still good. Look at the size. These are just beautiful apples. They're ready to harvest, but we don't have any place to go with them. Oh, there's three back there. I have to get the bucket over here. Yeah, see, that one is not in bad shape. That one's fairly good as well. I have to get in here and get the rest of these out of here. This tree had major problems. When this tree was first planted, we have a real high prevalence of cedar apple rust around here. We had two apple trees, wild trees, right back there, and a big cedar right there, but there's cedars all over the place. And cedar apple rust goes back and forth between the wild apple trees and the cedar trees, and it causes a pretty nasty disease. So right after this was planted, they're in a pretty weak state. This got cedar apple rust. So it did not do well the first year, barely got roots, and the wind blew it to the side like that. I staked it up, I got it back, vertical a couple times, and it just kept blowing it sideways like this. So finally I just left it that way. Then over that winter, you see if you can see that scar, it's on the other side. The sun is in that direction, that's south. Over the winter it got Sunscald. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the entire side from right below the branch all the way just about to the ground got Sunscald, and it was like an open wound. That next year, get this off. So you want to get these out of here and toss them down in the woods before they can affect the good apples like it just did there. Not a whole lot of that in here. I really should just get in here and pick these, but we can't do much with them. I would like to can them, but we don't have room for the cans of apples right now. Maybe as soon as we have room, I can do some canning. But we eat a lot of apples and give a lot of apples away this time of year. We have already given away at least a quarter of the apples off this tree, and you could see it's just packed with apples. So back to the story. The second year the tree did terrible as well, but I sprayed the tree. It got cedar apple rust again, and it had that open wound. The open wound was probably part of the reason why it got cedar apple rust. So I sprayed it with fungicide the entire second year, and I sprayed that wound as well, and it did not get any apples, and it looked terrible. It just pretty much stayed the same size. Third year, a tiny bit better. I sprayed it the entire year, trying to keep the cedar apple rust at bay until that big Sunscald scar could heal up. It didn't get a whole bunch of leaves or anything that third year either, and I was thinking of just taking it out. But then the fourth year, last year, The scar was just about healed up, and again I sprayed it on schedule, and it did not get cedar apple rust, or at least it got very little cedar apple rust. And the tree produced, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 apples. It was not much at all, but they were massive. They were just huge apples, and they were really, really, really tasty. That was last year. I believe I got that on film. They were just massive. This year is the first year it's been like this, and it's probably going to be like this every year after this. I mean, we have such a good harvest, we probably should prop these branches. I don't want to prop them if I can get away with it. They could snap, so we probably should harvest at least some of the apples off of each branch. Well, more than we have already. I mean, we've already gotten quite a few apples off of this, and it just keeps on producing. You know, if you take the largest one in a cluster like this, the other ones will get really large really quick. So where you got 3 of them like this, if we take one off, this one will get really big pretty fast. So I'll probably get in here and at least take one out of each cluster of 3. Yeah, look at how big these apples are. So the moral of the story is, just because your tree is, you know, kind of knocked over by the wind and in pretty sad shape, it doesn't mean that it's a goner. You can bring the tree back from the dead just by spraying it regularly so that it doesn't have to cope with all the disease. And, oh, there's one right there. Another thing is the hornet load. You get hornets on these apples with a hole in it like that, and after a while they'll damage the other apples as well, so we get rid of these. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come through here and take all these out. A lot of the reason why this has so many apples like this is due to how it's pruned as well. If you didn't see the pruning video, I'm not sure if I did a really good job of covering this tree. We covered Natalie's tree. Yeah, this weighs like probably 40 pounds. I'm going to have to get in here and harvest some. We did a decent video of the pruning of the McIntosh, but I think I just went in and did this one right before her. But I believe there's a pruning video from the year before. And I will definitely be doing one next year. I'm hoping these branches get a little stronger because this tree just has massive production. Yeah, the cat wants to be by me. You can see this is one of the limbs I took off this year, and it's healing nice and well. This will heal up, I would say, in another 2 years. It took 3 years for this massive wound on the side of the trunk to heal up, so it'll probably take about the same for this. I had planned on taking this off next year, but geez, that's a lot of apples to waste. We want to get it so that we can cut underneath both these trees. So I thought I would just do a video on how incredible the harvest is on this Honeycrisp tree, and to let you know that if you have a tree that's at risk like this was, both from local diseases like the cedar apple rust and or damage, sun damage or wind damage or whatever, a little TLC and you can bring it back to life. Man, I got a bunch of apples down in here too. This grass is really long because the trimmer is kind of broke right now. Yeah, bunch of apples in there. Got to get in here and clean this out before I get a ton of hornets in here. But what a tree. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I will show you the McIntosh tree as well, just for the heck of it. We've been getting apples off of this. This ripens before the Honeycrisp, so we've been taking apples off of this for quite some time. But this is loaded as well. It's just a little bit harder to see, and we've taken so many. Look at the size of that apple. That's a big apple right there. Well, these are all fairly big. Natalie took some of these to school, and they just loved them. The kids were all really impressed with these apples. Yeah, look at that beautiful apple. Yeah, it is so important to get your sprays in on these trees. Just use fruit tree spray if you don't have an array of chemicals. Regular old fruit tree spray will work just fine. You can see the wounds on this. I don't like that all that much, but it is healing up really well on the bottom. This one as well. Next year, we'll be taking off all these water shoots. All this. These right here, they're growing up through the center of the tree. Be another fairly heavy prune on this next year, but not quite as heavy as this year. All right, that's going to wrap up this video. I had to make sure that I got this on tape, just how massive this harvest was this year. I think a little of it showed when I was doing the purple lovegrass, when I was showing the purple lovegrass for the garden video. But I wanted to make sure that I got an actual video of the tree itself and showed just what an awesome harvest this is. Hopefully none of these apples go to waste. I don't think they will. I've been eating mostly apples these days, so I should be super healthy by now. Alright, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you subscribe because we will be having more pruning videos. I'll be doing pruning videos on both these trees every year because every year is just a little bit different than the last. So make sure you subscribe, click on the update icon so you're notified when I post those videos. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put it in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.